To follow a proposed bill in the Arkansas legislature that looks to prohibit some restrictions on the regulation of short-term rentals. 5 News reporter Jacob Luthi is in the newsroom now with more on the proposed bill and the struggle between property rights and city responsibility. Jacob?
Yeah, Darren, an act to prohibit certain restrictions on short-term rentals passed the House City, County, and Local Affairs Committee and is now heading to the House floor. And while some support the freedoms this bill could give property owners, others are worried that a broad state law such as this will not take into consideration the specific needs of their own cities.
There's a myriad of reasons that people may be distressed by the way somebody uses their own property, but frankly, that's none of their business.
The Supreme Court has said many times it's not some sort of absolute right. You can do anything you want to with your property because your neighboring property owners have rights too.
Arkansas House Bill 1445 says local governments shall not enact or enforce an ordinance that prohibits or limits the use of a property as a short-term rental. It is now one step closer to a full House vote. Fayetteville City Attorney Kit Williams says the city's $475 short-term rental allowance helps protect the rights of all citizens and adds that if passed, the bill would tie the hands of local municipalities.
This one simply says that the cities basically can do nothing and that someone that wants to turn their house into a short-term rental on some mini hotel, then they can do it wherever they want to do it. And if their next door neighbors are upset by that, if it lowers the value of the property value next door, that's just tough.
The bill, sponsored by State Representative Britt McKenzie and State Senator Joshua Bryan of Northwest Arkansas, does provide some rules, such as giving local governments the right to suspend a short-term rental owner's application if it violates the same local ordinance 3 or more times in 180 days. And local attorney and real estate broker Garrett Ham says the proposed bill is a good balance.
If you are intentionally creating a party house or something to that effect, that you should be able to lose your right to operate a short-term rental, I think that's completely reasonable. But for good actors, people who monitor their guests, have noise detectors, take precautions, making sure that their rights are protected is important.
Williams, however, disagrees, saying you can't prosecute a homeowner for a renter's violation.
The owner will say, not my fault, I didn't do it. So these attempts to say that there's ways that this statute still allows cities to do anything to protect their neighborhoods is simply wrong.
As the bill progresses, property rights,
the way they use their property, as long as they're not hurting anybody, is the way they're using their property, and that's their right.
And city responsibility.
The city council worked very hard to have a fair balance between the people that wanted to operate and rent out short-term rentals and the neighbors who wanted to preserve their neighborhood quality of life.
Are thrown in the center.
Now, Garrett Ham is representing the couple suing the city of Fayetteville over their short-term rental ordinance. He says restrictions on the economic use of one's property violates the U.S. Constitution. We will continue to follow this bill as it moves through the legislature. Jacob Luthi, 5 News.